The Civil Aviation Authority has suspended certain air traffic navigation procedures at more than 10 airports in the country due to non-compliance. This was established during an audit by the International Civil Aviation Organization. According to the industry insiders, an affected procedure, for example, could be that the instrument landing system, which is usually used when visibility is poor, is suspended. This has already led to delays at some airports. To tell us more about this, we are joined by aviation experts, Phuthego Mojapele. Thank you so much for your time, Phuthego. We do appreciate it. Maybe just tell us what this actually means, because I think there's a lot of panic around this audit and the suspension of this particular factor, with many trying to establish if it's still safe to fly, if it's still safe for aircraft to land, given what the audit has indicated. Maybe just take us through what this actually means and if it is dangerous.
Hi, dear. Thanks for having me. Look, it is dangerous when it's overcast and when the weather is bad. You cannot use the ILS system when the weather it's bad, because there is no transponder that is accurately responding to the radar that is sitting on the aircraft. Therefore, it is important that if those ILS systems are not working properly, surely they need to be suspended until ATNS sort them out. So at the moment, because they've been suspended, the airplanes need to utilize a VNAV, which is the visual navigation and procedure. So there will be delays, because when the weather is not good, they won't be able to land on those airports. But if I may say, public is safe. The airlines do apply procedures that allows them to land the airplanes when the weather is not good, and they will probably utilize that system that they are trained on. So there is no alarm as far as safety is concerned. However, it is important that those that are responsible to sort out these problems on the navigational systems, they need to sort them out as quick as possible.
So who's responsible in sorting this out? Because, you know, South Africa is always ranked as one of the safest when it comes to aviation. And the fact that there has been non-compliance picked up, who dropped the ball here, or was the ball dropped? And who needs to take responsibility in sorting this out?
Look, ATNS is part of government. It's part of one of the SOEs that we have under Department of Transport. They are responsible for that. They and the Department of Transport, obviously, they are mother bodies, Department of Transport. So this problem is not new, Heidi. I must say, this is not new. It's been there for quite some time. We have been in contact with ATNS in the past, where even the US government have raised an alarm to say, some of the oceanic transponders are not working, and it could be posing a serious danger for the airlines that are crossing the Atlantic. And you know, it took a bit of time for them to sort them out, but eventually they did sort them out at some stage. But with this one would say maybe the leniency was the fact that you do have these entities that belongs to government, and maybe they would take their time because, you know, they are government. But CAA should not give anybody leniency, particularly when it concerns the safety. They should have, you know, grounded them or suspended them a long time ago. They should have not been waiting for the ECAO audit to happen, and then they do it because ECAO is here. It should have happened a long time ago. And I do believe that you know, if they acted in good faith, we shouldn't have been where we are today, where we say about 10 airports have been suspended.
Certainly, and I think that's the concerning element here, is that no matter what way you look at it, you know, an aircraft won't fly unless it's 100% sure that all safety checks have been ticked. But what happens in terms of delays because of this non-compliance and these 10 airports being highlighted?
Ordinarily, what happens is that they are given a couple of days to sort themselves out, and CAA will work with them to make sure that they rectify things that they highlighted on the audit. And within that stipulated time, the operator needs to come back to CAA and prove to CAA that they are able to sort out the problems that have been highlighted during the audit. But one of the things, Heidi, that maybe I should just bring you up to speed with is the fact that the calibration, CAA is responsible for the calibration of these instruments. Now, that calibration usually happens time to time. And you would remember that we had an incident of the calibration aircraft that crashed. And since then, that has not been replaced. And I'm sure they're still working on it. They've been outsourcing this service to international operators to do it. Whether they are able to do it as regular as they used to do, that's one question that one can ask. If the calibration process, is it followed all the time? And is it done properly the way it used to when we still own that Cessna citation that was belonging to CAA? So those are the other elements that one can look at and say, how long are we going to take to get this citation back to do the calibration on these instruments? And how are we going to go forward if it's not in place as we speak? But at the end of the day, CAA needs to act on those that are not compliant with the safety of our aviation.
Certainly. I mean, it's in their hands now to sort all of this out. But as you mentioned, there is no need to panic at this stage. Thank you so much for your insights and clarifying that aspect for us. That is aviation expert Phuthego Mojapele.